So you want to get on camera and start sharing your heart, your soul, the message that's coming through you, and you're stuck in fear and doubt. And you wonder whether anything you say is even real or authentic, or if other people are judging you, and who are you to share anything, and you feel small and cringy. I know that feeling. I've been there myself personally, and I was able to move through that to get to the point where I could proficiently share myself on camera and grow a business helping people cut through their blocks to share themselves as well to build their dream lives and businesses. So, in this video, I'm going to share with you the things which I wish I knew when I started this, which are going to help you move through this fear and doubt 10 times faster so you can start sharing yourself, leading and inspiring others, and connecting them to your message. And I'm going to start with the first and most important thing which you need to know. See, when I started, I consistently felt like a fraud. Like I was in a little room with a bunch of adults and I was a little kid and they were all looking at me. And any moment, someone was going to call me out and say, "Who is this kid? Who does he think he is?" And every single time I started, I would feel it, this cringy feeling, and I would just stop. And maybe you know the feeling. And it wasn't until I started to ask very different questions that this whole thing turned around. I started to ask, what if this feeling is actually a good thing? What if this is actually a green light? And what's right about this feeling that I'm not getting? And you know what I found is that this is actually your body and your nervous system catching up to the decision that your spirit has already made. You see, your spirit can decide in an instant, I'm going to do this thing. It's going to feel amazing. I have this message to share. Awesome. But your nervous system and your brain takes a while to catch up to that decision. And the reason for that is because we are biological creatures wired up for belonging. So if you're getting ready to do something that signals potential danger, that you're stepping out to do something outside of the norm, or raising your prices or becoming visible, and this risks social rejection, your body puts on the brakes. So your nervous system's way of protecting you from harm, from danger. And so if you feel like an imposter, it's actually a sign that you're going in the right direction. So what I did is, knowing this, I made it my full-time job to remind myself constantly that I'm loved, I'm well, I'm safe, I'm going in the right direction, I'm talented. And I made that my main central focus instead of trying to do the thing. And as I made it my central focus in life and continue to do so to this day, that's when my results skyrocketed. Even something as simple as just closing your eyes, giving yourself a hug, and letting yourself know, I'm okay, I'm safe. It's safe to do this. Do that and watch what happens. Now, the next thing that I wish I knew is something that hands down stops everybody dead in their tracks. You see, I used to think that this voice in my head that told me to not do this, to stop, that I'm not enough, all that stuff. I used to think it was actually a real voice. It felt real because it would come with a lot of proof and evidence. You're not ready to teach this because blah, 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 or you're not ready for that reason, or this isn't good enough. And I'll never forget the day when this completely changed for me. At one point, I had this message that I wanted to make and publish, and I even created it, and I was about to publish it, but it was as if every single atom in my being, in my body, told me to stop and to not do it. And the voice was very loud. This is not the right message. It's not the right time. Nobody was going to pay attention to this. They'll laugh at you. And I decided, despite how cringy I felt about it, to just put it out anyway. That message got over 500,000 views, and it impacted the lives of thousands and thousands of people. It was life changing for me. And what I learned from that experience is that the voice of resistance that tells you to stop feels real, but it's not real. And here's the thing you need to understand: that voice will use everything that is dearest to you, to your heart, to your beliefs, to convince you to go in the other direction. So if you are very humble, it will use your humility against you. You're an arrogant a-hole for doing this. Why are you doing this? Well, you think you're better than other people? Oh, you should stay small. It will use your morality against you. This isn't original. What you're sharing, you're stealing from other people. You shouldn't steal, so don't do this. So you have to assume that whatever it's saying is not actually true and treat it as a sensation, but not as absolute truth. Now, even if you get these two things right, there is a sneaky way that fear and doubt can come into your body, into your nervous system. So the next thing I'm going to share with you is I'm going to show you how to move through that. See, I used to think that eventually all this fear and doubt would just go away and I would ascend into this endless field of fearlessness and flow. And that didn't exactly happen. The deeper I went into my process, the more fear, the more doubt, and the more shame came up, especially when it came to sharing even deeper things inside of me and taking deeper risks. And I began to wonder, like, why is all this fear and doubt here? Like, is there something wrong with me? Is this ever going to go away? And then I did some research and I found out that the greatest of the greats consistently struggled with this. Einstein himself consistently felt like a fraud, like he wasn't enough. Martin Luther King, arguably one of the best speakers of all time, believed that nobody wanted to hear him speak. They had to beg him to start speaking to get him to actually start. Anybody who does this for a living knows that it's just fear and doubt all the way through. You just get used to it. You just get used to fear and doubt for breakfast. It's like you just get up in the morning thinking, okay, what is fear and doubt going to bring up for me today? All right, cool, nice, thank you. And you just go and do it. I actually invite my students to invite fear and doubt into their lives every single day. Bring it on, fear. Come on, straight into the torpedo. When you do that, when you get used to fear and doubt, when you expect it, it doesn't phase you anymore. You don't treat it as a signal. It's kind of like background noise. Now, there's another dark reason why people get stuck. And the next thing which I'm going to share with you is going to help you move through it rapidly. So at one point, I was really stuck. I couldn't get anything original out, and I was judging myself so much. I was telling myself I don't have enough experience. I don't have the right lighting. I don't have the right equipment. Nothing original is coming through. I couldn't be consistent. I was stuck in so many ways. And I got curious as to why I felt this way. And what emerged was that I didn't feel like a professional. So I got curious about that. Why do I feel like I'm not a professional? And then it was right in my face. I was spending my evenings consuming. I was constantly in the evenings watching other YouTubers, other speakers, other teachers doing their thing. And so in my mind, I was consistently comparing myself to other people and filling my head with other people's ideas. And so in my mind, not professional, not good enough was not as good as those people I was watching. And so you know what I did? I stopped all of that. I stopped watching things at night and I just connected to myself, to my spirit, to my being. I started doing the things that I enjoyed: journaling, meditating, going for walks, spending time with my original ideas, connecting to myself with my process, with my emotions. And that's when the work started going. All my energy came back, all my creativity came back, and my ability to stay consistent came back. Because if you stay consistently connected to yourself, the stuff that comes from you is going to come out. So the lesson here is, if you are struggling with being consistent and getting going, it's likely that you are consuming way more than you're creating. If you focus on connecting and creating, the flow will come back. Yeah, but what will other people think of my flow, and how will the people that judge me perceive me? And you see, I used to get tripped up with this for years. In my head, I constantly visualized my audience as this group of people who were breathing down my neck, judging everything I said and everything I did, and everything I did had to be spectacular, in this positioning of myself as this angelic being who had it all figured out. And then I heard this funny story which teared this whole thing down for me. A friend of mine was renting a cabin, And he had a bathroom in this cabin. And in the bathroom, there was this tiny little window that was at the same height where your private parts would be. And for years, as he worked in this cabin, he would go pee. And every single time, he would contort his body because there was this pathway on the other side of the cabin that people would sometimes walk by. And he was afraid that if he was peeing, they would look inside the window and then see his private parts. And so he did this for years. And then one day he decided to go around the backside of the cabin and to just be there. And he realized there was a hedge between that window and the road. And so for years he was peeing in this weird way, but nobody was even looking. Nobody was even paying attention. And so when I heard this story, it made me laugh because this is exactly what it's like when it comes to creating and getting yourself out there. You think everyone is watching you. You think everyone is judging you. You think it's so important. But the reality is that nobody really cares. They just care about themselves. You're watching this right now. I bet if you finish this video, you're not going to think about what I'm eating for breakfast, what I'm doing next, or even what I'm going to publish next. Maybe if I pop up in your feed, you'll watch a video, but it's likely the only thing you care about is, can this guy help me? And then you go out and go on with your day. Nobody really cares. It's just in your head. So just get going and just go. Next thing which I'm going to share with you is going to make you scary good at creating amazing things and finishing them. See, when I first started, I was obsessed about making things good and making them perfect. I wanted to do good work. And the harder I tried to get going and making it good, the worse it got. And this was really frustrating until I did this one thing. I tracked my focus and my attention on a spreadsheet for years. And I realized something quite funny. When I did stupid things like not going to bed on time, not drinking enough water, not eating well, not taking care of my body, and diffusing my attention, entertaining addictions, drinking alcohol, all these kind of little things, my results plummeted. And when I just stopped doing those things and focused on the fundamentals in my life, eating greens, drinking water, sleeping well, exercising, only surrounding myself with positive people, my results went through the roof. And when I consistently did that, then my results were consistent. And when I veered off and again tried to do stupid things unconsciously, then my results plummeted. And so I realized this was actually the secret. And every single professional will tell you the same thing. This is like an athlete trying to become good at basketball when he actually has a crack habit in the background. And they're trying to get good at basketball by getting a better pair of shoes or drinking some supplement. If you have a addiction or you're doing stupid things in your life that you shouldn't be doing, the solution isn't some magic pill or the next course that you need to buy or becoming better at writing. The solution is to stop doing the stupid thing, get enough sleep, drink plenty of water, take care of yourself, and then watch your game is going to improve way, way more. Now, this sounds silly and boring, but you know there are stupid things that you're doing right now or things that you know you should be doing that you're not doing. And if all you focus on is just removing the stupid things and not doing them and adding some more of the good things for you that you know you should be doing, watch how that affects your life, your writing, your performance, your creativity. Just make a list of all these stupid things that you know you shouldn't be doing. And for the next 30 days, just focus on not doing those things and see what happens to your creativity, to your productivity, and how confident you feel with what you have to share here in the world. It is an absolute game changer. All right, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this and want more help, then subscribe down below and watch this video. It will show you how to find your deepest value and turn that into soul-aligned money. And if you want to work with me professionally, one-on-one, the link is down below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.